See, here's the problem with the judicial system. The president still ranks above them. He shouldn't, but he does. Because the judge is like, you have to tell me, I have clearance. This is a judge questioning the White House attorneys about Trump's decision to send American citizens and other people that were not even being told about to El Salvador. And the lawyer was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And the judge is like, yeah, no, literally, you have to. That's what the law says. And the lawyer was like, do you know who I work for? And essentially try to put me in jail. The President of the United States will just get me out of jail. You have no power. You have no authority. It's like when your sibling would babysit you. Like, I'm gonna tell mom. Go ahead. Like, currently I'm enjoying finishing all the chocolate chip cookies. You can tell mom when she gets home. In the meantime, I'm doing me, and you can't stop shit. Now, if you put hands on me and try to stop me eating these chocolate chips, I'll tell mom you beat my ass. We'll see who wins. When the President of the United States chooses not to follow the rules, not to follow the law, and if the judge had thrown this lawyer into court, Trump would have just made the jail let him out. It's always confused me because, like, we have this rule in our society. I put up drywall and a front door, and we agree that you don't come through my door. It's imaginary. Drywall can't stop you. You can literally punch through it. Yet we put up drywall, and as a society, we all agree not to invade each other's drywall. We see it as horrifically traumatic if somebody walks into our house. But we agreed this was mine. We as society agreed that this was my house. And, 99.8% of you also came to the same agreement. Your house is yours and my house is mine. And when somebody breaks that rule, we're just like, but there's a repercussion for that. If I catch you, I can throw you in jail. And we get very upset when people who commit crimes don't go to jail. But somehow we're okay with people who were forced into committing a crime due to societal pressure or just frankly a full-on setup by the CIA. We're okay with shoving those people into jail due to situations we forced them into. Topic for another day. But it's because that there's the threat of jail. There's a consequence to a bad action. Trump has no consequences. You cannot put the president in jail. The Supreme Court made sure of that. He is not to be held accountable for anything he does while in office. Thank you, Supreme Court. At this point, Trump could walk into the Supreme Court, kick the ass of all the Supreme Court members. Remember when he said he could walk down Fifth Avenue and... At this moment in time, he can. Nothing would happen to him. As a matter of fact, he would get a police escort while doing it. We created a God, and now we think we can put limits on that God. That God's going to respect human law when they are a god. I mean, Trump is unrolling all the rules against corporations. He's taking away all the fines and penalties for making the water toxic, for dumping toxic chemicals onto the soil. Basically, anything the oil industry wants to do is cool. There are no fees, there are no fines. So what company is going to follow the rules when there's no penalty for not? America voted in the biggest bully and now expects the bullies to act civilized. What's their motivation? There is no honor amongst thieves. I mean, eventually Trump will piss off somebody and will either, die for McDonald's or get iced out, one of the two. But that still leaves the rest of the element in government and power with no laws, no restriction, and nobody to stop them. Because we don't live in a Judge Dredd situation where a judge makes a decision and, pops you if you're found guilty. What bailiff is going to show up to the White House and be like, excuse me? I need to bring you in so you can get fined $750. The only reason our society functions is because we all agree to certain rules. I agree that your drywall that I can literally punch through is a wall that I shouldn't punch through. That the stuff inside your drywall structure is yours. I mean, we even agree if I'm going to break into your house, I open the door or I open a window. We agree that I won't cut a hole in the wall of your house to steal your stuff. Although that would probably be infinitely more convenient for me to load up a truck with your stuff. It's only because mentally we believe that these laws have rules have consequences for breaking. 98% of us believe in them. But we elected the 2% that doesn't agree with them into power. I mean, yeah, if a couple judges start going all Judge Dredd, pew-pewing people who don't give them answers, that might change the outcome. Until such time, we have put ourselves in a position where the people in power are exempt from all rules, and yet we're still expecting rules to be followed. The fact that our government is still somewhat why? The Republicans have enough votes. Trump could just dissolve our government at any time. Send everybody home and be like, look, I'm God. I don't I don't need you guys to pretend to push papers anymore. Because it's meant to be like, this is the message, which this is the message, which gets distributed, which gets distributed, which gets distributed. Or you just keep killing everybody who resists until everybody else stops resisting. There used to be like a sheriff of an entire territory. It's not because everybody was like rule abiding, because they knew what would happen if the sheriff caught them not abiding the rules. The consequence for, like killing one of the king's deer is death. You really weigh whether or not that's worth it. They are rolling us back to a time when there's a king, couple sheriffs, just to make sure there's no uprising too much, and then everybody else just becomes so scared to resist, fight back, rebel, because the consequence of rebellion is death. The judge can hold that attorney in contempt, but it doesn't matter because the president can just undo it. We voted for that. Morally, I can't. Voted for that, even if they didn't vote. They didn't vote to stop it.